Welcome to this exhibit pack update. This past weekend was Ely, Minnesota's annual Harvest Moon Festival. So to celebrate, we had some fall-themed and harvest-themed enrichment items for our wolf ambassadors, including these meat-stuffed gourds. These were also frozen so that they have a little bit more opportunity to work at it rather than just picking the meat out of the gourds. As you can imagine, these were pretty popular amongst our wolf ambassadors, so you may see a little bit of what we call food possession, so a little bit of guarding of food from another wolf. And so here's Grayson enjoying one of those meat-stuffed gourds, and you can see his tail raising into what we call a T1 position as Kaz comes over and starts to do some food begging. These situations can be pretty loud, but it's important to remember that none of this resulted in any injury. It's all just a little bit of blustering, a little bit of noise to get their point across. So this is how wolves communicate. It's important to remember that it's not just their body language, it's not just the behaviors, but it's also their vocalizations. While it may sound pretty loud and maybe a little bit scary to some, this is just important to remember that this is kind of part of their everyday life. This is how they communicate and set boundaries with each other, especially when it comes to important resources like food. Another reason why we really wanted to share this clip with you guys is so that you can see that, wolves are not dogs. You may see some dogs that have some food possessive behaviors, but for wolves, this is, just part of their everyday occurrence. This is how they survive in the wild. Without being able to guard food from the rest of their pack or from other predators, then they lose that resource. Here you can see Rika coming over, getting a little bit stimulated by all the noise. You can see her hackles up there. She tries to make off with the gourd, but Grayson is quick to return and stand guard over his prize. As part of the wolf care team, we really don't want to disrupt any of this food guarding or these kind of dynamic behaviors, because this is kind of how they set boundaries within their pack. Without these moments of conflict and resolution, a lot of times that can kind of build tension within the pack and then lead to a larger blow up later on. And if that happens when wolf care staff aren't around, then that becomes a bigger issue, because then we can't intervene when needed. This is why it's so important for us to be able to recognize these behaviors and understand when is the time to step in and when is the time to let it play out. This will be even more important as we go into the fall season, where winter breeding season hormones are starting to ramp up, which usually causes activity within the pack to increase, and a lot of times you'll see some more testing behaviors. However, we'll also see a little bit more social behaviors too. So here we see Grayson and Rika engaging in a little bit of a social interaction. You can see Grayson doing some invite chasing, some play bows with that high tail wag. In this instance, Rika isn't really fully engaging, but there are plenty of times that we've also seen a little bit of social interactions, especially in the morning between these two. Both of them engage in a lot of inhibited muzzle bites, jaw sparring, tail wagging, muzzle licking, all of that fun social behavior that we like to see within the pack. That's all we have for this exhibit pack update. Here you can see a little bit of the changing colors. It's only September, but we're already starting to see a little bit of red poking through in the exhibit. If you are interested, we do have our next wolf care webinar coming up on September 21st, the autumnal equinox. It will be at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you can register for that on our website under the webinars tab. Thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to seeing you next time.